Welcome to the Eric Avisar Show. One of the most significant trades in NBA history took place today as the two best teams in the Eastern Conference swapped some of their most valuable assets. Kyrie Irving, the man who so publicly had been involved with a painful saga, if you will, with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Once it came out that he wanted to be traded, it just created a massive ripple effect throughout the league, shock waves throughout, and now everything has finally come together. He gets his wish, and he is headed to Boston, Cleveland's biggest rival in the East, for just an incredible return, really. Even for a player of Kyrie Irving's caliber, he is not worth what the Celtics gave up, which is a lot. Isiah Thomas, all-star point guard Isiah Thomas, who averaged more points than Irving last year. Certainly not as dynamic as Irving, not as good of a player, of course, to be sure. But on top of that, Jay Crowder, one of the most underrated players in the NBA, lockdown defender, sniper three-point shooter. In addition to that, the rookie, Ante Zizic, rookie big man. But what really is going to make the Celtics really regret this trade, I think, potentially, is giving up the Brooklyn Nets' unprotected draft pick in next year's draft. I mean, that could very well, very likely be a top 3 pick. The Nets are still in disarray. Many stars, coming out in next year's draft. Marvin Bagley just reclassified, going to Duke in the fall. And then, you got Michael Porter, Mohamed Bamba, DeAndre Ayton, big-time center. Just so many really talented players. But let's not look too far ahead into the future. What did the teams really want here? Well, it actually goes back to the future. What teams wanted moving forward? Cavaliers wanted to be ready for life without LeBron James. Getting Isiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, and one day, an early draft pick. Great way to prepare for life without LeBron, so it won't be a complete shambles like the last time he left. But, the Celtics really wanted that superstar. They could really build the team around for the future. Let's not forget, as good as Kyrie Irving is and all of his accomplished NBA champion, only 25 years old, the classic one-and-doner out of Duke. Kyrie is the best ball handler in the NBA, certainly an elite offensive player without a doubt. And, meanwhile, the same thing can be said for the diminutive, tiny Isiah Thomas, probably 5'8". But he can score the rock. Just a liability defensively. Who knows what he's going to be dealing with in terms of his hip injury. But Danny Ainge, I think he really dropped the ball. I think he was almost as desperate to unload Isiah Thomas as Cleveland was to get rid of Kyrie, because, I think he probably just balked. He just lost it when, IT was saying, you're going to get the Brinks truck for me. I'm going to get the max deal. And he's right. Isiah Thomas is going to get a max contract after next season, one way or the other. That is inevitable in today's market, in today's NBA. But, Ainge says this trade was good for timing. And he's right. He knows that the Golden State Warriors, and if they hold it together, it's going to be an absurd dynasty in the Bay. I mean, they're just way too talented. They're untouchable. And it's terrible for the NBA parity. It's terrible for teams trying to build a contender, because nobody can contend against them. But Kyrie, Gordon Hayward, 2 building blocks to the future, young studs who will be able to win when perhaps some of those guys are a little bit, further down the years when maybe things change. But nothing's really going to change at this point in terms of who's going to win. But, Eastern Conference, as many incredible players involved in this trade, still doesn't really change the balance of power, because the balance will always be dictated by the best player in the world, LeBron James. So the Cavs are still the favorites to win the East without a doubt. But, I think Celtics fans are going to be super excited. Kyrie Irving is a superstar, incredible talent. But Cleveland came out the winner of this deal. I think that Celtics fans, once you look past, what they gave up, they should feel concerned. Cavaliers fans, at the end of the day, should feel lucky. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel.